Hello and welcome to another episode of Prototech Pursuit. And in the last episode, we started work on this amazing platform right here. And oh, I'm loving this thing. I am absolutely loving this platform. It's got everything I could ever need. Just everything. But what we are going to do today is expand it even further. This thing, it is stationary. That does not fit to our rules. We have to move. And so we need to get some thrusters onto it. As well, in order to power those thrusters, we need some O2H2 generators. And to create all those components and get rid of that stack of thrusters right there on the top of the dropship, I need to make some assemblers. And those are my three main goals in this episode. We got thrusters, which are going to be like around here on the arms, I'm thinking. We're going to get some O2H2 in this space and some assemblers in that space over there. But let's get to it. First off, let's go just take a look. I've actually done a little work on this in between this episode and the last, and I gave it a nice coat of paint. So let's go see what I've done. So coming in on here, we have the new section. Unfortunately, this new section does not have any gravity in it, as the gravity generator only reaches halfway here. I may have to get that gravity generator deconstructed and make two of them, one on each end of the ship, in order to have proper gravity throughout the entire ship. But it's all right for now. As we're coming along here, we can see we've given all of the conveyor lines a nice paint. The tanks are in a safety orange, showing off how explosive they are. And continuing on through, we have refill stations on the cargo containers in the middle of the ship, so you're never too far from being able to refill. As well as the refineries in green with their power modules in a nice red. I decided power modules for now because it's probably the best thing. I am having a little bit of a power crisis right now. If we head on over and take a look at anything here, our batteries, any battery, were fully recharged, but in a very long time, fully charged in 12 hours. That is because the only power generation we have going right now is a couple hydrogen engines. And that's it. However, we do have like infinite ice because there's been a really large ice patch nearby, and we've got like 2 million ice. So we are processing a bunch of ice. We have enough O2H2 generators that we're actually keep producing more hydrogen than needed, and we have just enough power positive that it's keeping everything online. So we're okay for now. However, when I do put in some O2H2 generators in this space, we're probably going to have to add some engines as well to the design, so that way we can have a little bit of excess power if we need that. I'm also contemplating sticking on some solar cells somewhere on this design, wherever they fit, as I thought that maybe something like this, where I can come to these corners and I can like tuck a solar cell into the corner, I think actually looks kind of nice. Right? Like if I do that on every single corner, and I'm probably going to need to get the other one so it goes on the top. But if I go through and put every corner like that with a little solar wedge, I think that might look kind of nice. It'd give me a little bit of extra power. I'll have to figure out if I want to do that or not. But hey, I think it looks good. Do the same thing on the bottom, because why not? The ship might be in a different orientation and get some free power out of it. But for now, I think the number one thing I want to do is I want to get this mobile. We have some hydrogen. We have our storage. We have our refining. We're doing great. I'm thinking that we're going to have a larger thruster in the back here for like major like traveling. But what I would like to do is on these arms, I'd like to put out little thruster clusters as I've done before. As we can see if we come over to the mining ship, what I like to do is I have one conveyor sticking outwards, and then I surround it with thrusters to give it a little bit of motion. And I'm going to do that all along this ship. We'll head on over to an area where there is some light, and I believe we can start theory crafting how this is going to work. Because when I come in with my pipes here, and I want to make these my yellow, I'm going to follow my color scheme. This pipe is coming along and coming over here. So obviously, I can't just put a junction like here and have a thruster pointing upwards, because I need to walk through this area. Because eventually this is going to be a dock for a ship. Right? So what I'm thinking is if I either punch here or I just take this pipe, let's punch them out, and let's go across. And then from here, just a single straight pipe to a junction pipe. Or, it's too bad. It'd be really nice if they had like a, because this is a 6-way with face on every side. This is a 4-way. It'd be cool if they added a 5-way cross. So it's like a T cross. You know what I mean? Where it, like the T junction goes this way, but it's a T cross junction. Keen, if you're listening, I want T cross junctions. Please make that happen. What I think is we put a conveyor pipe junction there, and then we switch over to black, which is what I want my thrusters in. And oh my god, it's so nice having build and repair just doing stuff for me. And then I can just very quickly and easily slap down a little thruster cluster, right? And then we got a little thruster cluster. And I think that works. So that's going to give me thrust upwards, downwards, and my direction of travel is this way. So left and right, it just won't give me forward. But of course, I have the opposite side as well. I can replicate it over here. Get back to my nice color. And regular old conveyor pipe. And then a junction. And do the exact same over here. But do I want regular hydrogen thrusters? No, I want industrials. I think they look better. They got that nice little ball on them that looks kind of cool. Nice greeble for it. So we'll take these ones down real quick. Replace them with industrial. Yeah, and the industrial totally fit better with the pipe junction. Like, the regular hydrogen thrusters, I think, work better if it's a normal conveyor junction. But these industrial ones, because they've got a tighter base on them, they fit way better on these pipes. It actually makes me want to grab my spectator camera so I can do this properly. Because I don't have the paint tool or anything in this mod. Oh, yeah. Paint the whole... Yeah. Paint that junction black as well. Totally. That is definitely way better looking than before. Okay, let's get this one as well. Paint it black. Ho, ho, ho. I'm painting it black. Just like that song. Oh, this is perfect. And then it's nicely tucked away. These things have a damage radius of 2, if I'm not mistaken. So if I put a block... well, the build and repairs are going to build it up. But if you put a block there, just disconnect it, because now this block is free. It's disconnected, and the build and repairs won't do anything to it. If we thrust there, this block's not taking any damage. But if we add a block right here, it gets destroyed. Roger that. We're perfect. We are... I'm happy with that. I think that's going to be a wonderful little thruster cluster. And then I can, if I want to, I can put them every single arm. Or at least maybe every second arm. Like, we're going to have it up back here. We'll have it on the middle. And we'll have it on the front. And then we'll do some sort of thing here in the center. And have some form of larger thruster coming off of right here. Maybe a spot where in the future, if we ever get a Prototech thruster, that's where we can hook it in. But let's get to it and build up the rest of this. And with this one here, finishing touches on... We've got our 6 sections here. Total of 12 little thruster pods. Got the 2 there. The 2 there. I believe they're still being built up as we're having a lack of resources. Our build and repairs are going as fast as they can to get them all built up. But, you know, they're doing what they can. But I think the ship may be... Ooh, got some floating resources there. This ship might actually be available to, you know, fly now. We have gyros. We have some thrusters. Some. And I want to give it a try. At least want to detach myself from the grid there, from the asteroid, and start moving away. And to get that to work, I'm going to go into all my little ships here. Make sure all their dampeners are set to off. So none of them are trying to fight me as I try to fly away. And then we're going to get a seat. Control seat. The big question is where? I think for now, right on that is just fine spot for the control seat. We're going to go to all of our connectors here. Oh my god, they're quite loud. And I'm just going to throw them all on not used for parking. I don't want to deal with that right now. No connectors used for parking. Actually, there's an inset connector here. Not used for parking. This ship's a little loud. And I should be able to do is now hit park, which will detach from the asteroid there and allow me to lift off. Oh yeah, baby. The platform's moving! And we can pull out into open space. Oh, yeah. It's slow, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We've got our various backwards thrusters here. These are going to be platform backwards. And we're going to get that group onto our bar. Toggle bar on off. Turn them off, turn our dampeners on so we stop our upward momentum. But now we can start to slowly drift off into space with this entire platform in tow. Yes! That was my number one thing to get done this episode, is get this thing moving. And surprisingly good gyro authority for 8 million, well, almost 9 million kilos. surprisingly good. There is a there's a pirate thing over there. Let's go. No. How about not? This thing is fragile. This is going to be the mothership. We are not going to get into any combat with this vessel. Point our way into open space here and give ourselves a few meters a second. There we go. Cruise at 10 meters a second. Get out. We just gotta keep an eye out for some asteroids. But other than that, we're back moving. Hell yes! So while we occasionally check forward for some asteroids, we can let this thing coast away here. And we can jump into this section and start thinking about O2H2s and assemblers and all that jazz. So, and something I haven't been able to do for a few episodes, I can rotate myself to have a better sun experience on my building. I no longer need to have massive shadows. I can just say, now let's just rotate my entire ship. There we go. Now everything's in the sunlight. Oh, now everything looks good. So wonderful. But now we can talk about assemblers. So, with assemblers, we have... one second, I need to get my pipes. And then I can get my assemblers. And we also are going to get our modules, because we're going to upgrade them for sure. Probably full speed upgrades on all of them. But with assemblers, they are 2x1x1 themselves. But when they have upgrade modules all around the outside of them, they are essentially 3x3x2. So not exactly the 3x3x3 that is like tanks and cargo containers. So they're not going to fit this pattern exactly. But we can do a similar sort of thing. We can probably do 6 of them in the area, and then we'll just cut in one on the start. So we'll one bit longer with the pipe, and then we'll have a 2, and there'll be an assembler, and then they'll have some sort of connection in the middle, just like these, and then get 6 assemblers. So what we can do is we'll be one in from here. We'll cut this one off. We'll replace it with the cross. And the same thing on this one. Cutting in one. Place the cross there. And I am going to need to drop off some materials here. I'm starting to get a little heavy. Got everything I need to place stuff, though. And then in the middle, which should be right here, cut down and cross. Hopefully this is going to work on the opposite side for O2H2s, but we will see. Now we can go like pipe coming in, then assembler just straight on. Probably like assembler, then we'll go with a, because I'm gonna do like something around it in order to give it some structure. I'm gonna get a reinforced conveyor tube, and then assembler again, and we can repeat that. And then going around, I think the only obvious choice is speed modules. I don't think there's any other reason to take anything else. Power efficiency, nah. We just want to build stuff quick. When I'm in construction mode, I don't want to be sitting around waiting for resources to build. I want to have my master assembler getting the list of resources, and then it's going to delegate that out to all of the other ones as cooperative, and then it's going to build it extraordinarily fast. And this one right here, this assembler 15 is going to be the master. And the rest of them are going to be co-op. So why don't we drop down here and we can look at the various assemblers. And then these ones here are going to be all of the ones in cooperative mode. And we are going to name them as such. Excellent. All those assemblers in cooperative mode. And this assembler main can be changed from to assembler dropship. No longer will be the main assembler I want to use. This will be the master assembler. And on the dropship, I actually have it here with this. I have these set up. I want to build so many things. I think I'm going to, on this one, for the dropship, we're going to reset this. We want this all back to 0. And on the master assembler now for this grid, we're going to go through here, all this stuff, goods, superconductors, down to there. All of this is good materials to have. Because I have so much storage, I think I'm going to go and say 1,000 of each. And honestly, I think I can get Gatling in there as well. 1,000 Gatling boxes. The rest of the stuff, artillery shells, assault cannons, I'll work with that in the future. But hydrogen oxygen bottles, let's go 20 on hand each. And we've got the various elite tools. Let's go 5 on hand each. And now we've got this master assembler all set up with all of the materials to work on. And then all of these other assemblers should be pulling resources from it and going to town, building away. Ho, 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 ho. That is as soon as they are built, because we are lacking components. So what we should do here is get those computers, which we also need, throw them up top, because it looks like that's one of our main bottlenecks here. Yep, 160 computers needed. Nothing else to get that assembler online. Same thing over here. So those assemblers should be online shortly. Checking. We're not running into anything yet. Very good. Although, the identified signals are that way. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. We'll be jumping to those in the future, not flying to them. Similar over here, we are going to put some beams between these. I don't think I have room to put gyros. Do I? Do I have room to put gyros here? Is a very good question. I probably do. I can fit in some gyros. Honestly, it would be a good thing to do, because this thing could always use some more gyros with the amount of weight that we are going to have. And oh, there's an unknown signal. I should probably go and get that. Let's stop our boat here, and I'll fly over there myself. Hello, unknown signal. What do you have? A cow drill. Why, thank you so much. I always wanted one of those cow drills. And a little bit of cobalt. That would have been very nice if you had just started and one of those fell right beside you. That would have been like the ultimate thing, because you could get some grids online immediately. Alright, for our beam blocks here, these guys came down gradually. And oh, you're missing a beam in there. Why are you missing a beam? Ooh, I wonder, was that just me missing the beam? Or was that, sometimes I found this, if you have too many build and repairs and you keep them on for too long, they like start to eat your structure. I'll have to keep an eye out on that. I wonder if that's just me forgetting to put those in there, or whether or not that is actually... it probably sounds like me forgetting to put it in there, because it's like on every part. Yeah, I think that was just me. Although sometimes, man, build and repairs decide to just eat your components every so often. But anyway, back to our assembler area. We can come down gently as well, although I wonder if I want to. I think what I might do is we'll do a beam block base there, and then we'll do a full-on beam slope. Come down faster. Because these things are lower, and I don't want to have this, like, hoarding over the top of them. You know what I mean? And then from there, these can just be beam block halves. Oop, no, I don't wish to respawn. I pressed the wrong button. Like so. And then even, do I go back up to a full beam block? Even here. Do I? Yeah, I think that's fine. And then I come back down to the base. Yep, I think that works. A little bit of banding there to keep it all strapped in. Just got to get a little bit of power. I love refueling stations. Oh my god. Refueling stations have been so goddamn useful for me to not have to go all the way back to my med bay in order to top up. And with that duplicated on the bottom, our assembler section is nicely strapped in there. I'll have to figure out what color I want to make the assemblers and their upgrades. I made the power efficiency red. Maybe I can make the... Ooh, I don't know what to make. Speed. Do I just make them red as well? Just because we could be like, red is all modules. Something like that. I mean, it's not too bad as a concept. I think they look amazing. Because also, speed, you know, red goes faster. This is just logic. You can't deny it. Yeah, oh, bonk my head. And with that built, I can come on over here, and on these assemblers, I can turn them off. And then I can go to a cargo container of some sort on the grid, and all of the assemblers on this grid, and I can dump their resources. Oh, it's just this grid. Yes, very good. And I can dump all of their everything onto the main platform. And then once they have been emptied, we can cut them down and get their resources into circulation again, allowing those other assemblers to get built up. Oh my god, I needed small steel tubes. Look at that. We just built 1,000 out of fucking nowhere. I want to see that again. Okay, we need some computers, right? There's 1,000 computers. We've used every single computer on the grid. Plop it there. Boom. It's gone. It's been distributed. Look at it go! Oh my god. And the other grids are done as well. Oh my god, that was fast. Well, that's an issue. We have no nickel. Okay, we'll have to find some nickel. We're low on that. How about magnesium? Looks like we have at least some quantity of magnesium out there. A few thousand of it. Wonderful. Wow, are we really out of nickel? Oh my god, we need to find a node of nickel somewhere. Okay. Oh, and another unknown signal. These things are popping up like crazy nowadays. And we get a... nothing. Oh, you're no fun. Bonk. Alright, so up next is some O2H2 generators. I'm not 100% on how I want to lay these out. So we're going to screw around with it a bit. And what I might do is I might turn off my build and repairs so that I can have control over when they're going to build stuff. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to run a conveyor pipe outwards. And I do have this block space here. As you can see by most things, we go from the beam to the beam. We've got 3 blocks space. O2H2 generators, if I go here and get them out, and their engines, they don't require that much space. We've got a 2x1x1, and we've got a 2x1x1, but it likes to be on its side or on the end of something. So what I'm thinking is we could pipe out a good distance, and then along the pipe, kind of like how we've done over here, where we're going to have like one extra pipe, so it's like a little bit floating on the inside, just so we've got a little bit of symmetry to that. We'll start at this point. So we have the 2 pipes. Then we're going to cross, I want to say. And then we can do some stuff where we do O2H2 generators like this. And then we can just have a line of O2H2 generators that are all connected to that pipeline, and then continually do pipeline crosses out. That's one concept. With the top of these, though, we could add something else as well. So if I not do crosses, if I do junctions here, and I just continually do junctions going forward, we could conceivably have some engines in this space. Because we could do like engine, flip it around, engine. Alternatively, we don't need to have these coming up every single time because the engines could just go off of this one, for example. So what we could do is we could have something like this, where we say go cross, cross, rotate the cross, or even have a T, however we want to do it, and then cross, cross. So we can go O2 gens here, have sort of a block of 4 on each side, and then we can have a pipe T to a engine on the top of each one, each section. So each 8 O2H2 generators, we get an engine with 2 engines for them. And plus, you could even do stuff like this, where you add in some tanks, because we would like to, energy probably, low. Get some energy low, yell at me. We could add in some small lab auction tanks. These could be here, or we could even sneak them in, say, underneath like this, or wherever we want to tuck them into the design, as I sneak back over here to a refill station. So then this way, we can copy that out with our pipe, then cross, cross, you know, T up, T that way, cross, cross, and in total, that would be 4, 8, 16, 24 O2 H2 generators, be like 6 engines, maybe a couple oxygen tanks, however I want to attach them in here. I think that would be pretty good. I mean, honestly, I could even leave this area with a O2H2 generator in that space. Considering that... Oh, no, wait. It wouldn't be connected then. I'd have to connect this up somehow. Either that way or with the end here. Oh, I mean, I could do it like this, where I just put O2H2 generators, and then this isn't a T. This is a cross, but up and down. And then I have another T this way. Yeah, I think something like this. Not sure if it's going to be 100% this, but let's get this set up. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of O2H2s. It's going to be awesome. And then on the top, put in our hydrogen engines. Get them all plugged in. That should provide enough power for me for now. And do I want to put anything down here is a good question. I think another O2H2 generator can just snap right in here. I think that would fill up that space nicely. So in total, it's 5 in each little cluster. So 30 of them. Well, yeah. That should be more than enough to be able to fill up any tanks in my future. Ooh, and that engine is roaring to life? Yes! Roaring to life. Way too loud. We'll back away from it. But they are coming alive, and we can go and see here our batteries should start to be, yeah, got that additional power coming in. You can see the input jumping up as the as the engines get built up. See at 1.16 now. Got another engine coming online shortly. Yes. You're all running. Need more steel plate. We need steel plate. Put that to the top of the list. That, honestly, should not be 1,000. Steel plate. Things that need a lot of steel plate, interior plate, and construction components. 10,000. You just need a lot of those. But now, if we look, it was at like 1.1. Now it's at 1.5. Fully recharged in 3 hours. Our tanks are still filling. A bit slower. But as we get more of our O2H2 generators, and I'm like, God, that's so loud. I'm not going over there. We'll just look at it through here. As we get some more of our O2H2 generators online on this grid, we can see they're filling up with ice and producing hydrogen as we have so much ice to put power through. Just amalgamate our ice here. We got basically 1.7 million still to push through. And with that, we have essentially all the major components that we need for this to be a mobile base. And this is an amazing mobile base. We've got, from the front to the back, we got 12 refineries, 12 cargo containers, 12 hydrogen tanks, and now 30 O2H2s with 6 engines and 6 fully sped up assemblers. with a little bit of thrust, which might expand out, add those in maybe every single one. Who knows? I think every second is going to be good for now in order to just have this thing be able to move a little bit. But I think the next thing is we need to do some resourcing. We've got our mining ship, so we're going to jump in here. And we're going to point ourselves at an asteroid. And we're going to head over there and mine whatever's there. But in the next episode, what I think I'm going to do is focus on getting some more jump drives. This thing is 9 million kilos almost. Well, we've used up some stuff and refined some stuff, so it is more like 8.7 now. But we're going to need a whack, an absolute plethora of jump drives on this thing. And I need to find a spot where I can tuck them away and it's not going to cause an issue. And I'm not sure if I want to do that on the top. Maybe... Oh, I can definitely get rid of this now. But maybe I can tuck that away down here under the undercarriage. Find a spot. Oh, that was my that was my gravity generator. Oopsie daisy.
Inventory full.
Well, anyway, I needed to move that gravity generator because it it wasn't covering the entire thing anymore, so I need to add a second one and move it. But yeah, need to find a spot for some jump drives. Not sure 100% where I'm going to tuck them away. Possibly what I could do is remove one of these cross passages here, because I have them going down every single arm. You know what I mean? Possibly what I do is I go in here and I remove the catwalk from this section, and then this would be a place where I could easily slot in a jump drive like this in between the beams and just slot in a series of jump drives in this area. But we'll see. It all depends whether or not I want to have this conveyored up. Maybe I don't need it to be conveyored because I'm not going to put thrusters there. Who knows? That'll be for the future. But for now, we're coasting off to some asteroids. We're going to go get some resources. And we're going to build a whole bunch of jump drives. And then the next building project, I know this has been like several episodes of building and construction, but we need to do it. We're going to retrofit this. We're going to clad it in heavy armor. We're going to make this into a badass fighting machine. And then we can really hit these different Prototech unidentified signals. But that is for the future. For now, thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.